Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. This is going to be one of the best and most important shows of 2020. And there's going to be a great deal of information, very important information, pertaining to what I wrote in 2017, what I've been saying for the past 4 years. Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Thank God. He's a great president. You look at the rebuttal is, well, the ballots have already been printed. I'm going to read you, or people have already voted by mail. That is going to be completely irrelevant to all of this, and I'll read you a Politico article that explains why in about a moment. I always stated, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you very much for being the best moderators in all of YouTube. To my super chat, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. You help me do what I do, and without you, I couldn't do these live streams, so thank you. And to my new Patreons, thank you very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Like I said, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people who want to get money out of politics. So you all allow me to be an independent voice, and I thank you. This is the biggest political call of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, it will end up being the biggest political call of all time. I am going to give you a Politico article written in 2016, September 12th, 2016. Here's the article. Here's the article. It's a fantastic, fantastic piece, and it explains exactly why eventually the current nominee, the Zoom meeting nominee, and people say, well, you said you were wrong. Biden's the nominee. It's like, well, I always stated with a caveat. I didn't say Hillary Clinton will win Iowa, or Clinton will get the most delegates, or Hillary will accept the nomination in a Zoom meeting. I've stated many, many times, yes, they're not going to pass up the centennial of 19th Amendment. But then I said, you know what, if they're so inept and they do that, eventually she'll be on that ballot somehow. My prediction, the H.A. Goodman prophecy, and I'm obviously joking, I'm being facetious, but it's going to be the biggest political call of all time. It doesn't, God forbid, it's not a calamity. I'm not predicting a calamity. I never predicted a calamity, God forbid. In Hebrew, the word is chas v'shalom. That's God forbid. I'm not talking about any possible calamity. I'm not talking about any possible, heaven forbid, illness. I'm talking about simply a meeting from Tom Perez or whatever. I don't care. I've always stated I don't care how it happens. But the mechanism is in place for Clinton to replace Biden I'm being serious here, even a week before November 3rd. You might say, oh my God, here we go. He's lost his marbles. He was already nutty to begin with. Now he's lost his marbles completely. I will read you the most important section of this article. Here it is again. Politico article. It's a really, really wonderful article by Kyle Cheney, great journalist at Politico. Here's the Politico article again. Okay. And thank you very, very much. Loud Citizen, thank you. Trump should preemptively. Well, Loud Citizen, why engage in that when we can have so much fun? We can have so much fun watching everything play out. President Trump's going to go 8 years. Hillary Clinton is the only chance they have. She has the gravitas. She has the base of support. The people who run the Democratic Party are not the progressives. The people who run the Democratic Party are the I'm with her crowd. They deceive and utilize the progressives to just funnel millennial votes, or, voters who are good people, idealistic, but don't like the Democratic Party, voters who are too, perhaps, reluctant to vote Green Party. The I'm with her crowd always runs the show and always utilizes the hopes and dreams of left-leaning voters, and utilizes pundits especially to funnel left-leaning voters back into the Democratic Party. But here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you exactly the mechanism for it to take place. I wrote about this in 2017. And since for the past 4 years, I never said specifically how it's going to happen. I kept telling you, I don't know how they're going to do it. It could be a meeting from Tom Perez saying, you know what, Clinton does better among black and Latino voters. It could be that. It could be that. But here, this is a really, really interesting article. And another challenge here, this is in 2016. This was after the health scare. Donna Brazile was even talking about replacing Madam Secretary. In September, quote, another challenge. Most states have passed the deadline to change the names of candidates on their ballot, meaning Madam Secretary's name would likely be required to appear short of a court-order solutions or change in state laws. So if they perhaps changed, found a different nominee, like Donna Brazile is actually thinking of perhaps Biden for a moment after the health scare. What would happen if in 2016, when Biden wasn't one fry short of a Happy Meal, what would happen if he had to become the nominee either before or after the debates, or in September or late September, early November, after all mail-in ballots had been sent in, after all the absentee ballots had been sent in? Carmack argues that this issue will be moot because it's up to the members of the Electoral College, typically loyal partisans, to cast formal ballots for president. If a replacement for Clinton were offered, those electors in states won by Democrats would almost certainly cast ballots for the party's preferred nominee. It's a Democrat-Republican thing. At that point, if you have to replace a nominee, the replacement becomes the nominee. So it really, these are the semantics and the the nomenclature. It's all irrelevant. They cheated Bernie Sanders. They have a million different bylaws, and we'll get to exactly how they replace. I've explained this before, but there is a very simple process to replace a nominee. It's a very simple process. It's not rocket science, because the whole thing is Kaylee Smith, hello. The whole thing is a complete charade. Oh, is there something going on with the voice? Let me all right, so hold on one second. Is this better? Let me know if this is better. Is this better, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Okay, good. So, I'll read you the following, but I have to just read this to you again. Another challenge. So people say, oh, well, AJ, you lost your mind as usual. You're completely out of it. Oh, and there's a really awesome, I want this man's channel to grow, and he's awesome. He offered a reasoned critique of me, and it was actually a funny critique of me. He has a great personality, and I think that if he continues with his YouTube channel, he'll do very, very, very well. Where is that? There was a gentleman who called me one fry short of a Happy Meal, so to speak. And where's the... Okay, I emailed... Oh, Lord. Where is the... Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's... Oh, okay, so... Where I'm trying to find, gosh, I'm trying to find this. Okay, so I can't find but you know what? It's I will find it. But it was a very, very good. It was a very interesting critique. The gentleman was driving his car, and it was a fun segment. So I'm trying to find the actual channel, and I emailed myself. Okay, anyway, I will find it. But anyway, I want to read this to you again. Another challenge. Most states have passed the deadline to change the names of candidates on their ballots, meaning Clinton's name would likely be required to appear short of a court-ordered solution or change in state laws. It doesn't matter if Madam Secretary, when, because it ain't if, people, it's when. And I'm not predicting a calamity or an illness. They ain't going with Biden on that ballot. And it could be a day before. There's a joke like, oh yeah, a day before, H.A. Badman is going to say that Clinton's going to be on the ballot. She doesn't even have to be, she literally doesn't have to be on the ballot on election. When I say on the ballot, she has to be opposite President Trump, meaning that any votes that Biden gets, it'll be Clinton who gets another heaven forbid, but let's say she became president, which I think that she has a chance to do. I think Biden has no chance at all, but Clinton could actually win. And Democrats know this, okay? She would then get all the Electoral College votes. Because another challenge, most states have passed the deadline to change the names of candidates on their ballot, meaning Clinton's name would likely be required to appear short of a court-ordered solution or changes in state laws. Carmack argues that this issue will be moot because it's up to members of the Electoral College, typically loyal partisans, to cast formal ballots for president. If a replacement for Clinton were offered, so if a replacement for Biden were offered, let's just fast forward to this year, those electors in states won by Democrats would almost certainly cast ballots for the party's preferred nominee, which means the person who replaces the exhumed body this year. So, I'll read you this article. Here's the article again. And it's pretty awesome. It's basically kind of explains exactly how this is all going to go down. My man, Luke St. Martin! Thank you, Luke St. Martin. Thank you very, very much. I'm convinced that Donald J. Trump will win another term. I fear the possibility of an insurrection act being needed on November 4th. Praying for the best. Preparing for everyone else. Avenu Shalom Aleichem. Yes! Hello! Avenu Shalom Aleichem. Luke St. Martin! Don't make us regret it. Luke St. Martin, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Luke St. Martin. Greatly, first of all, beautiful Hebrew phrase. Thank you so much. And Luke St. Martin, thank you for being an amazing moderator, and also just for your support. It's greatly appreciated. And everything you do, I gotta buy you and Eric H526 dinner, drinks, numerous dinners, drinks. I don't even know, but I just want to thank you because you've been such a great moderator. You and Eric are such great moderators, and just thank you for your generosity. Always, my goodness. And it's just really awesome of you. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Thank you, Luke St. Martin. Thank you very, 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 very much. Kaylee Smith! Biden gives a campaign speech and coughs in his hand 3 times. He won't debate, continue to run using COVID. And excuse. Yeah, I just think that, I just think, Kaylee, I don't know how it happens. And Luke St. Martin, thank you again. Kaylee, I don't know how it happens, but I'll tell you this. They have it all in place. This is like when you watch, like, you know, David Blaine. He's pretty awesome. When you watch any of the magicians at, like, the Magic Castle, or, you know, an illusionist or a magician, they're doing what seems, David Copperfield, they're doing what seems to be impossible. Houdini, the greatest, Houdini. But it's all, these are human beings. And what looks to be impossible is actually a very rational and logical, and there's a roadmap to what they're able to do. They follow the instructions that they've created to ensure that they're safe, and to ensure that the illusion convinces people. So the DNC is a charade. It's not really a political party. It runs on public relations and emotion. That's it. That's it. It doesn't run on any policies. It runs on public relations and emotion. The policies of Democrats, big booty, hello, I am. How did everybody know? Big booty, hello. I can go on forever, but they cheated Bernie Sanders. Look, you have to understand, in 2016, I was smart enough, or savvy enough, to realize that Clinton would lose. NPR quoted me. But prior to saying that, I thought the DNC would allow just the best candidate, and I thought the FBI was apolitical, nonpartisan. Okay, I was obviously wrong. Very much wrong. And so you learn after seeing, like, they cheated Bernie Sanders and blamed Russia for 4 years. But I want to read you this, okay? This is a great article. Share the article everywhere. They can't possibly win with Biden. Hillary Clinton is the only chance they have. She's the only chance they have, which should tell you about the Democratic Party. When I say that she's the only chance they have, it's not just because I'm the biggest Hillary Clinton supporter on the internet. Okay, because so I was the biggest Bernie booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, in 2015 and 2016. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, nobody on the internet is as passionate and enthusiastic as I am for Clinton 2020. I want her to run every 4 years. Okay? I'm done trying to talk about, well, I mean, I won't stop talking about it, but I'm really done caring as much about the top secret intelligence on servers, which of course was against the law. This is not, there's no legal avenue to transfer top secret intel or classified data on servers outside of the United States government. It's just not happening. Obviously, there are overt pay-to-play schemes. The media, though, is like, oh my God, Trump downplayed. Well, no, he didn't. Even Fauci states that he didn't. And furthermore, anything he said was always going to be battled and fact-checked and opposed and Bob Woodward and the intelligence community kept the information just so they could hurt Trump right before November. Is that how it works? And then Democrats tell voters in Arizona, Illinois, Wisconsin, Arizona, Illinois, Florida, and Wisconsin to vote in person during the pandemic. Okay. And then Wisconsin voters wait in the rain during the pandemic to vote against Medicare for all, to vote for Biden. Okay, so the media is President Trump issued travel restrictions in January, and talked about the severity of the disease in the proclamation. They called it xenophobic. You're talking about the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Then they say, well, if Trump just led us, we were yearning for leadership. No, you weren't. You tried to impeach him. The late January, the beginning of February, you were trying to impeach him. Okay? They were trying to impeach President Trump. You can't find a more disingenuous, duplicitous, hypocritical entity than American media. You just can't. Maybe there's... I can't imagine media in other countries being as partisan. But here, maybe they are. I agree. Corporate press has lost all credibility. Luke St. Martin... Thank you again, Luke. Greatly appreciated. Mr. Midway! I can't wait until November 3rd. Thank you for keeping me sane every night. Mr. Midway, thank you so very much. You and everyone else here keep me sane. And I just thank you very much. Mr. Midway, thank you very much for the kind words. Please be here November 3rd. We're going to have a good time. President Trump's going 8 years, but they're going to go back to old reliable, and it ain't going to be Biden. Now, I don't care if it's after the debates, before the debates, during the debates, a week before November 3rd. I don't care. I read you a Politico article that explains about the Electoral College. She doesn't have to be on the absentee ballot, which actually gives them, oh my God, Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, everybody here, Mr. Midway, it gives them the ability to make things even more chaotic. Could you imagine? Oh, God, we just found 100,000 new Biden ballots. Yeah. Look at that. But here, I'll give you the link again, people. Share it everywhere. It's a fantastic article. Okay, I only deal with public record knowledge. Paul Bartlett, hello. Here's the article again. Let's read it. Let's read this fantastic article that is just bolstering the biggest political call of all time. I'm 4 years ahead of the planet. People, I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm 4 years ahead. The entire world's been sleeping, and I'm 4 years ahead. But here, former DNC chairman calls for Madam Secretary contingency plan. September 12, 2016, Politico. It's extremely unlikely Democrats will have to change the ticket, but even if some of Madam Secretary's allies say there should be, even some of Madam Secretary's allies say there should be a clearer process. So I'm just going to use the name Madam Secretary. I don't know if I was gonna make a lame joke. Okay, so something about Beelzebub, whatever. A former Democratic National Committee person says President Barack Obama and the party's congressional leaders should immediately come up with a process to identify a potential successor candidate for Madam Secretary for the off chance something forces her out of the race. Quote, now is the time for all good political leaders to come to the aid of their party. Said Don Fowler, who helmed the DNC from 1995 to 97. during Bill Clinton's presidency and has backed Hillary Clinton since her 2008 presidential bid. Okay, I think the plan should be developed by 6 o'clock this afternoon. So this is not something, ladies and gentlemen, switching, candidates before the election. It's not something that they never thought about, and it's not something they don't have a contingency plan for, and it's not something that they're not going to do, because they are going to do it. Okay? Because they are going to do it. God bless Joe Biden. I don't say this. I'm not being facetious here. What they're doing to this man is criminal. And I used to think it was a shtick. It's not. It's not. I used to think it was, he was pretending. What they're doing to this man is an absolute crime. An absolute crime. But you know what? Those are the types. They're the type of people, and Biden is a political animal. He's taking one for the team because the team's helping him. So, it's come to the point now when you're listening to this man, you feel bad. You feel like there's some kind of it's not just disrespectful. It's frightening that they would utilize an individual because their political party is so horrid and inept. They have nobody. Do you understand? Hillary Clinton is the past, the present, and the future of the Democratic Party. She's running in 2024. And she'll win. Do you understand? She'll win. There's nobody the Republicans have. Possibly Rand Paul, but there aren't enough hardcore fans. Like Rand Paul actually does have a lot of hardcore. I wrote an article about Rand Paul years back saying that I would vote for him over Hillary Clinton, which I would. Rand Paul's great for many reasons. Some things I disagree with, and you could fund certain bills. I mean, you know what? It's okay. I get the fiscal responsibility thing, but sometimes you gotta. But anyway, the Republicans have nobody, and in 2024, Hillary runs again. She'll win. She could possibly win this year. I'm telling you, they ain't going with Biden. I say things like exhumed body, all that stuff, but it's it's really unfortunate what they're doing to this human being. But here, Fowler said he expects Madam Secretary to fully recover, but he said the Democratic Party would be mistaken to proceed without a contingency plan. The party's exiting rules empower the DNC to name a replacement. The powers exiting rules empower the DNC to name a replacement candidate. Quote, it's something you would be a fool not to prepare for. Fowler noted that at one of his first ever DNC meetings in 1972, he supported a decision to nominate Sergeant Shriver, a member of the Kennedy clan, to replace Thomas Eagleton as George McGovern's vice presidential nominee, the only time either major party has replaced one of its two national nominees. Another point to remember is the following. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is not like an issue where people actually really love Biden. It's not like they really love Biden. Hunter's Moon! Hillary and Kamala won't work. They will, though. They're on Monday. Hunter's Moon, Grimm. Hunter's Moon X Grimm. On Monday, they're going to be campaigning together. It's going to be the beginning of beautiful things. And God bless them both. It's going to be the beginning of beautiful things. Tech Epiphany! took a break from HBS Remake to say hi and keep up the good work. So, let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. Let's continue. Tech Epiphany, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thank you so much. Fowler note, okay, so though that transition was relatively seamless, he said, replacing Madam Secretary or their current nominee would be much more acrimonious and could lead to intense lobbying between loyalist Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. That's not going to happen this year. Bernie will fold, and Bernie wouldn't even care. He won't say anything. He won't say, "Hey, it's my. I think I'm up. I'm on deck here." And nobody is going to say a word. In fact, you're going to have AOC supporting Hillary Clinton, which is part of it's the gift that keeps on giving. Do you understand? The universe is not, won't be aligned correctly, or, all won't be right in the world until we have Bernie Sanders and AOC endorsing Hillary Clinton. Bernie for the second time in 2 elections after being cheated twice. This election also in Iowa, which is just everything you need to know about the left. The Clinton campaign and DNC did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Interim DNC chairwoman Donna Brazile said Sunday that she's glad Madam Secretary appeared to be feeling... There's still plenty of unknowns. Okay, so if Madam Secretary, let's just say, were to be replaced, she would have to voluntarily cede her nomination, which Biden will have no problem doing, creating a vacancy at the top national ticket. Voluntarily cede the nomination. So you're not going to see Madam Secretary, like Yoda, and what was the one in the one of the new Star Wars movies where Yoda has the lightsaber and he's flying around, and it's not going to be like that kind of battle. It's just going to be look, you know what? You just do better. Here you go. It's like a tag team thing. Okay? If she did, party procedures give the chair of the DNC authority to call a special meeting to vote on a replacement nominee. Party procedures give the chair of the DNC the authority to call a special meeting. Okay, this is like a clubhouse. Do you understand? Teresa King! Please someone tell Sleepy Joe to steer clear of Fort Moore. Teresa King! Thank you, Teresa King. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa King. Luke St. Martin, thank you again, Luke. Teresa King, thank you. So, party procedures give the chair of the DNC authority to call a special meeting to vote on a replacement nominee. In this case, because Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned in July, her successor, Brazile, has the authority. Gee, I love the fact that nobody remembers Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned. It's unbelievable. Quote, the locus of activity for all those political questions would then move to the 447 members of the Democratic National Committee. All of them either owe something or are good friends or whatever. They're all I'm with her people, okay? There might be a small group of progressives that just will get completely, decimated in 2 seconds. But, maybe we should burn... Please leave. And maybe Bernie said it. Please leave the room. Thank you. Okay, two-decade veteran of the DNC Rules Committee. There's a 2-decade veteran of the DNC Rules Committee. There's the rules. They have a rules committee. That's hilarious. And it's wide open, and all of the political concerns would work out in the context of discussions among the members of the DNC. I'd like to lead this discussion. I think I'm an unbiased source. Teresa King, thank you. John Walker, thank you for the kind words. Thank you, John. So let's read. So Fowler argued the party would be wise to immediately set up an even more detailed process for those who might seek to be the successor. From signature gathering requirements to okay, so again, this is all like the rightful nominee is Hillary Clinton. The Russians stole it from her with Facebook ads that nobody saw. It's the Russians. Fantomos Fanto! Yoda Clinton will levitate her heels. So, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's very simple. People, there are rules. It's impossible. It can't happen. I never said it was going to happen. It was going to happen a specific, like 100% in a specific way. I said, you know what? I think that she'll either be the nominee at the nomination, whatever. But the whole point is, ladies and gentlemen, they don't even have a real political party. It's a charade. It is Tammany Hall. The whole thing is nonsense. Bernie Sanders was cheated. I said Hillary. I couldn't be more concise, direct, to the point. I couldn't be pithier than Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Didn't talk about Iowa in the headline. Didn't talk about a Zoom meeting nomination. She'll be the nominee, replacing the current nominee. The whole thing's a charade anyway. Hillary Clinton 2020. I always said the past 4 years was always about getting Madam Secretary to just go to toe-to-toe with the Orange Menace. They always say, like, he misled us. We wanted leadership from Trump. It's like, it is not working. Do you understand? It's not working. Then they say, well, he didn't tell us that he was airborne. If he said anything that wasn't public record knowledge, the fact checkers would touch themselves in ecstasy saying, this is not true, this is not true. So they wouldn't believe him anyway. And furthermore, they already knew that, how contagious, or they already knew everything there was to know based on what the medical community told everyone. Trump wasn't privy to anything that the medical community didn't tell the rest of the planet. So you get this nonsense. Well, the intelligence community told Trump. Well, why didn't the intelligence community save lives and tell people? Oh, that's right, because you fabricated everything, didn't you? They didn't tell Trump anything. They couldn't even stop Facebook ads. Do you think they're going to tell Trump about this? And then look at the intelligence community hasn't been right of Bay of Pigs, Gulf of Tonkin. I mean, you can go on forever. At WMD, Facebook ads. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and impeaching Trump. Bill Clinton was impeached. Investigating Trump, both of them, especially Madam Secretaries, have been investigated forever for actual criminal activity. I mean, it's funny too, because you get one top New York prosecutor in the Southern District. They're like, oh, well, he's investigating the Clinton Foundation. Oh, really? And then 3 months later, he found nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. So, they investigate in name only with Clinton, and when they do investigate, they just disregard actual criminal activity. And then with Trump, they're like, well, we don't have anything. Can you buy a dossier so then we can, investigate Trump? Can you fabricate information so that a judge will allow us to investigate an American citizen in Carter Page, so then we can set up and frame George Papadopoulos and set up and frame Michael Flynn, General Michael Flynn, and set up and frame Trump? And then they say, well, we were protecting the country. Well, you didn't protect us from Facebook ads, apparently, or Twitter bots. What were they doing? What was Brennan and Comey and Strzok doing? It was happening under their watch. They were busy, like, running around trying to set up Trump. So they're hilarious. They're always so anyway, here. So Fowler argued that the party would be okay. So they don't even have a specific, it's just a meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading this. It's literally, it's like a treehouse. Like if you had like, the DNC Rules Committee is like, okay, we're at the Grizzly Bear Club of Northern, fill in the city. And you, Bobby, you'll be the chair, the treasurer. And, John, you are the Secretary of Defense for our club. Yeah, and I'm the president and leader for life. Everybody, that's funny, huh? And you know what? And I have this apple here, and then it'll be like a hammer. What do they call it? Like a gavel? Yeah, I'll just go like this with the apple. And it's just a club. It's just like a treehouse club. It's not even like, this is like the DNC Rules Committee. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. The DNC Rules Committee. It's not like, exactly, Jennifer Raymer. It's like a Little Rascals type of thing. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, an actual political, like, this is not an organization where they're running by an actual code of conduct. The DNC Rules Committee is whatever rule they want at that moment. Just ask Bernie Sanders. I just would like to thank the DNC Rules Committee for giving me this award, this beautiful gold-plated trophy. Oh, you want it back? But I just got it. You just gave me the gold-plated trophy. You want it back? Oh, here's it. Thanks a lot. Thanks. I got bupkis. Everything I do for you, I got nothing. Okay. Here's your gold-plated trophy again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why is the buffering taking place? This live stream is like the DNC Rules Committee. Let's see here. So, all right. So, can you hear me at least? Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Chat room, can you hear me? So, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Can you hear me, people? So, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? All right. So, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thank you very, very, very much. Okay. So, thank you, Luke. Greatly appreciated. So here, basically, what I was trying to say is, if they gave Bernie Sanders, let's say they had, some kind of award ceremony where Bernie won, where Bernie Sanders won, like, Politician of the Year, and then they gave him the trophy. And they're like, I just want to thank Deborah Wasserman Schultz and everyone who stood by me to win Politician of the Year and this gorgeous trophy. And then they said, no, give us the trophy back. And we actually, you know what? We just decided on a new person to win. If that could have happened, that would be able to take place. And all Bernie would do is say, oh, you know what? No problem. I'll just sit down. It's not a problem at all. So they have no rules. There are no rules. You understand? But I'm actually giving you a 2016 Politico. Politico, very reputable. Very reputable. Okay? If anything, Politico leans left, but Politico is like probably, let's put it this way. Politico is 1,000,000 times better than the Washington Post and New York Times. Like 1,000,000 times better. It's not. I like the Wall Street Journal a lot more, but Politico is a lot better. Politico still leans left. Okay, but so let's just hear. There should be a concerted, unified effort on behalf of the president, the Democratic leaders in the House and Senate, and from the officials of the DNC as well. I think unanimity would be absolutely critical. Well, of course, the unanimous vote to replace the current whatever he is will be Clinton. Okay? And that's why you, like, when Madam Secretary, you got that gleam in her eye, ladies and gentlemen. Go watch the DNC speech. That gleam like, oh yeah, under, Biden and Kamala Harris. Like, you could tell there's no, it's not even possible. Angela Goodwin. The Tamala sirens and caretakers make more sense than Joe and I can hear you in Alaska. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. The Tamala sirens and caretakers make more. Thank you, Angela, as always. Thank you, Angela. Nice. Oh, look at that. The telescience. That's right. Star Wars. That's right. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Carmack noted that the process hasn't changed in decades since Eagleton was replaced over mental health concerns, but Fowler said the politics surrounding the top ticket would be more intense, and he noted that any change, mental health concern, here you go, but Fowler said that the politics surrounding the top ticket would be more intense. Well, not this year, maybe in 2016, but not this year. This year they are going to beg. They're begging now for a replacement. Everybody knows this is a charade. And again, I'm not predicting a calamity, God forbid. Angela, thank you. But I'm saying that this ain't happening the way that people think it is. This ain't happening. It ain't happening the way people think it is. They have to replace Biden because Biden would get absolutely crushed. If they go with Biden in the debates, then they get crushed and then they beg for a replacement. Before the debates, they worry that it would hurt them long term, so they bust the replacement. The switcheroo is happening. I don't know how it's going to take place. But I've been wondering, okay, where can I find an article that would address the absentee ballots and the mail-in ballots? And Super Evil C, hello. I wish I knew how to play. Super Evil C, thank you. Enjoy. But ladies and gentlemen, So here, similarly, though, only 40% required to be present. Only 40% of DNC members are typically required to be present at meetings. They don't even have, look, with another 10% voting by proxy. It doesn't even matter. They just make things up. And you will be the vice president of Candy. A vote to replace a national nominee requires a majority of the full committee present. Whatever, who cares? They're all beholden to Madam Secretary and Bill. I'm going to head this committee, and it's with, my solemn powers as committee chairman and grand poobah that I just want to everybody kiss the ring, and we've sacrificed the lamb and the goat, and with the DNC bylaws and subsequent fine print, and by the powers vested in me, I just want to make my wife the rightful nominee for all these, based on everything we've done as a political party and our bylaws and laws. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. They don't even have. It's not even a political. It's a political entity that exists based on media support and public relations. That's it. They don't have policies like Medicare for All or Green New Deal legislation. They just yell about these policies. And they give the image that they care, about the policies, but they don't really care. Another challenge: most states have passed. So here we go. We're back to the most important part of Robert himself. Hello. The most important part of all of this is Stony Stone. You can't make this. I hope all is well. It will come true. You will see. Thank you, Stony Stone. Thank you, Stony Stone. Be here. Stony Stone, be here. November 3rd. I greatly appreciate it for all the kind words and for the support and for watching. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, it's going to happen slowly but surely. You know, I found the one article that explains how it happens, even with the mail-in vote, even with the mail-in vote, even with the absentee ballots printed. I love that they can't reprint them. It's like, well, they got out of it because the Electoral College just goes, partisan, left, right, Democrat, Republican. It's not necessarily the electors will, at the end of the day, just vote for the person on that. The person, let's put it this way: the last person standing for that political party. But here, another challenge to the most important parts. Thank you, Stony Stone. Thank you. Another challenge. Most states have passed the deadline to change the names of candidates on their ballots, meaning Madam Secretary's name, let's just put meeting Biden's name, would likely be required to appear. Carmack argues this issue will be moot because it's up to members of the Electoral College, typically loyal partisans, to cast formal ballots for president. If a replacement for Clinton were offered, those electors in states won by Democrats would almost certainly cast ballots for the party's preferred nominee. So, the party's preferred nominee, Madam Secretary, will eventually be the nominee after the Zoom meeting nomination is taken away from. I feel bad calling him the exhumed body now because he's too close to that description. So it looks tired, and he was asked. We'll just finish. Let's finish this. Carmack, loyal partisans. If a replacement for Biden were offered, those electors in states won by Democrats would certainly cast ballots for the party's preferred nominee. Today, he was asked something about mental health or something about like his mental fitness, and he was like, "Come on! I mean, look at who moves better." Come on, man, come on. Look at me move better. Move better. He's not, like, they live in their own delusional world. And when they lose again, you wasted 4 years. They wasted 4 years on nonsense. Notice, they're trying to go after Trump now. It's not working. It's not working. General D, hello. It's not working. They can't touch him. Like, well, did you see what they said to Bob Woodward? It's not working. And then the Atlantic article didn't work. Bob Woodward's not working. None of these, everything they level at him is a complete and utter failure. It doesn't even bring enthusiasm to the Never Trump derangement syndrome people. It's just a steady stream of, oh, well, let's just make him look bad and worse. And, they continually say, he didn't lead, but you don't want him to lead. Democrats do not want Trump to lead. They don't want Trump. They never wanted Trump to lead. Then they say the pandemic is his fault. They keep on bringing up the lives lost. Most of the lives lost are in about 8 to 9 Democratic-run states. This is a fact. And you have New York and New Jersey, the epicenter on the planet, because of Murphy and Cuomo. You cannot put people in old age homes who are infected and then just say it's not your fault. You cannot blame Trump for what takes place in Democratic-run states. You even have mayors and governors in Wisconsin and Oregon and Washington, as their cities are set ablaze and being dismantled before our very eyes. They say, "Get out! You're inflaming. You're fanning the flames." Well, no, Trump is actually trying to literally put out the flames. Literally. Everything is public relations. Everything is this sappy, syrupy, sappy, disingenuous, phony public relations spin. Oh, his words. Nobody cares anymore. They didn't care in 2015. They are using the same playbook, which, by the way, loses its effectiveness. See, every single day they called Trump a racist. Every single day they called him a demagogue. Every single day they called him inept, a buffoon, or whatever. It resonates less. Its meaning lessens. It's nobody cares anymore what Democrats think of President Trump. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a you-know-what. They don't care what the Hollywood celebrity thinks, what the athlete thinks. Nobody cares. They're going to vote for the president that gives them the best economy. They're going to vote for the president that... They're going to vote for the president that reverses U.S. foreign policy. He is the anti-war president. He was in 2016. He's the choice. The Lincoln Project people are former Bush administration people. If you're a Democrat and you're okay with former Bush administration people, but you don't like President Trump reversing U.S. foreign policy, then you're a fool. Or, you know what? You don't care about never-ending military conflict, or you don't care about counterinsurgency conflicts. You don't care about just leaving our soldiers in faraway lands forever where there's just chaos and mayhem that Bush created and President Obama exacerbated with his foreign policy. The rebuttal to American foreign policy, the rebuttal to removing soldiers after 20 years from any region of the world cannot be, well, if we remove our soldiers, then more chaos will ensue. That means that the original plan has failed. That means that that's an admission, an acknowledgement that you are simply leaving Americans there as chess pieces. You cannot do that. If the first thing you say was, well, what will happen if we remove soldiers? Yeah, that is a reason to remove soldiers. It's not Germany and Japan. We're not stationing Americans in peaceful locations that want us there. President Trump removed Americans from numerous countries. He did not. It's like the first time in 40 years that we have not started either. He's the first president in 40 years to not begin a long-term and protracted military conflict. And that's why when NATO, our allies in NATO. NATO is a way for our country, but mainly for European countries allied with us, to conduct military operations under the banner of, well, it was multilateral. A whole bunch of people agreed with our military objective. But that's not the way. That's not. Countries should address their own military objectives themselves. That's why they have military budgets. And we shouldn't rely on NATO to justify our military conduct. So it's also a way to circumvent responsibility. So President Obama can say, well, it was a NATO intervention. Other countries also decimated Libya and turned it into a failed state. It wasn't just us. It was NATO. It was all the good countries in the world. Ah, okay, so there's no racism there, huh? General D! The Dems' only chance to win is to ballots box, and they still won't win. The people have had enough. Oh, yeah. General D! Thank you. The people have had enough. The people have had enough. They've had enough. It will be interesting to see how many Democrats reluctantly vote for President Trump. It'll be interesting, the secret Democrat vote, because Democrats, if you have Democrats who I'm kind of going out on a limb here, but I'm sure General D will reluctantly vote for President Trump because, see, they say, well, the left has controlled the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has gone too far left. There is no left. There's no left. Everything you see taking place because George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis, a blue state, would not be taking place were it not for his life being taken by an officer in a blue state run by purely Democrats. That Minnesota is going to go red. Minnesota is voting for Trump. Democrats already lost Minnesota. When you have the most populous, you have the largest city in Minnesota asking for $500 million because everything was so peaceful, they've already lost. The state has already been lost. But 3 days before that tragedy, Biden was speaking to Charlemagne the God, and he said the most offensive, racist, disrespectful comment. If Trump had said it, oh my God. Trump has never said anything as bad or as crude as that. And Democrats have never signed any prison reform legislation Biden wrote the crime bill, or helped write the crime bill. President Trump signed prison reform legislation, and he presided over more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, including President Obama. Which is interesting when it's like Democrats have forgotten 8 years of President Obama. So, they've forgotten the importance or the magnitude of President Obama's legacy, or 2 terms, in terms of the issue of race, but that's another story. And so you have 3 days before George Floyd's life was taken, 3 days before Biden was tanking his campaign deliberately, because nobody is that big of an imbecile. And he tells Charlemagne the God, who, by the way, Biden insulted afterwards, saying he was trying to be a wise guy, which is a total insult. Of course, Democrats didn't care. But he said, if you have a problem voting for me, then you ain't black, or you have a problem voting for me or Trump. What? That is so offensive. That is racist. If Trump said it, it would be an impeachable offense. But it's a Democrat who says it. That's why people who pontificate and who like preach and give these long lectures about morality, the average American of all backgrounds, of all ethnicities, tunes them out. If you're on the left and you're giving a long lecture about morality, everyone falls asleep. Because these people are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. When they engage in the most overtly offensive and disingenuous and xenophobic comments and arrogant comments, they're given a free pass. And it's across the board. You could be a pundit. You could have former blog posts. You could do so many things on the left and get away with it. The left is never held accountable for anything. Never held accountable for anything. Thank you, Luke St. Martin. Thank you. If you want to talk about that country, President Obama funded rebels. President Trump stopped the rebels in that country. So, ended the covert program. Venezuela also had like 1,500% inflation before Trump. Venezuela's economy was, oh my God. The economy there was tanking before Trump, and Trump had nothing to do with the economic collapse. But anyway, they're like, what about, like, people on the left, like, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? It's fine. But everything I love whataboutism, which is fantastic because it's just called dialogue. Sometimes it points out hypocrisy. It's basically the basis of any argument. If you're trying to say something, but I'm not a hypocrite because I'm talking specifically about military interventions where you send Americans or you topple a despot. President Trump did not do this. President Obama did this. Bush did this. Bush and President Obama did those things. Trump did not do those things. That is the biggest issue we face as a country, by far. The biggest issue. Not if President Trump, which I agree, I agree with the left, the far left, that says, well, he shouldn't do this, this, and that. I do agree. You know what? We shouldn't be involved in the affairs of other countries or side with this leader or that leader. I agree with that. But to say that, well, it's all the same, it's all relative, and regime changes is true that Trump will be better, but he's still doing this and that. It's like, yeah, but it's like the biggest issue we face as a country is interventions where we remove a despot and create a power vacuum, and we've done that in. President Obama did that in Libya. Bush did that in a number of countries. President Obama tried to do that with Assad. And President Trump is not engaged in that. And he's removing American soldiers from these regions of the world. This is why categorically he's the anti-war candidate. Simply bringing up the fact that he's engaged in military tactics is not a rebuttal to what I've been saying, but whatever. You can't possibly, on the left, you can't possibly say anything good about Trump. It is against the law. It is against the laws of nature. You can't say anything good about President Trump. It's against the laws of nature. It's just against the laws of nature. You can't do it. You just cannot do it. And then, look. You know the thing, man. I don't even want to. Look, it's to the point now where it's not even fun anymore. Because I've been looking at Biden recently. It's not fun anymore. It's not amusing to point out, like, how sad everything is. So sad. Everyone knows that he won't be able to debate President Trump. All Tom Perez and the DNC has to do is like what that Politico article, September 12, 2016, former DNC, we're almost 4 years to the day of this article. Almost 4 years to the day of this article. So, former DNC chairman calls for Clinton contingency plan. Kyle Cheney, September 12, 2016, Politico. It's right there. And the notion that there's this process is revered, or there's, some kind of logic or reason, or it's this sanctified, like, this kind of, like, hallowed process, sacred process. This sacred process. It's not sacred. They don't care. Leo Zabo, the amount of street cred. Oh yeah, JoJo. Exactly, Leo. It's pretty unbelievable how. It's pretty unbelievable how. The reason that Democrats cannot convey these lofty ideals effectively, the reason that nobody trusts them, is because they're such hypocrites, and everyone sees it. They are the televangelists of morality in this day and age. And they run by this pseudo-humanist philosophy. It's not, they're not the 2000s Republicans with, talking about God and the Bible. They run by this belief that, we have to address the wrongs of the past. Just vote Democrat. It's like, what? They adopt the suffering and the pain of their constituents. They utilize this suffering as a political tool They talk about justice as if they're the ones who could implement this justice, and nobody believes it. That's why Biden has less Black and Latino support than Clinton, and Trump is doing better, and he's doing better among Blacks and Latinos, and that's with the most apoplectic and hysterical media known to man. We have never had a media this partisan. I mean, we've had media that would just, fabricate stories or try to get us into military conflict. There was a time of yellow journalism. We've had media do that, but we've never had such a partisan media. Nays Garden! Thank you. Here's a thank you. Here's a 20 for speaking your truth. I am your anger translator, and you are not very angry anymore. Remember, trendy nay? Come see me now. Nays Garden! Nays Garden! Push super chat. Won't even let me do 100. So here. Thank you. Thank you. Nays Garden. I'm your anger translator. You're not very angry anymore. Remember trendy nay? Come see me now. Nays Garden, thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate you watching for so long, and thank you for watching for so long. And like I said, first of all, thank you so very, very much. Nays Garden, very kind of you. Very kind of you. And thank you for the kind words. And I do remember that. That was a long time ago. Nays Garden, thank you. I remember that's like my brain is slowly working. Nays Garden, thank you so very, very much. I hope all is well. Yeah, and you know what? When you're on the left, I noticed something. The progressive ideas that I had that I thought were quote-unquote progressive, they're not actually. The progressives on the left, they don't care if American soldiers, if something happens to people in other countries, which of course I care about too, but that's what they really care about. Actually, they focus only on one country in one region of the world. But they really care about people in other countries, which I do as well. But my main focus is ensuring I do not want Americans sent to never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. I thought that was the most lefty of left positions. It's not. It is definitely not. So when I was on the left, I would be like, and then I thought raising $10 billion for the people of Haiti, and then 3% of the money. I interviewed Daddy Cherry, brilliant journalist, Haitian-born journalist, who explained only 3% of the money went to the people of Haiti. I thought I looked back at my writing in the Huffington Post, the Hill and Salon, and I was like, you see, Clinton took prison lobbyist donations, huh? And everyone's like, crickets. They don't care. Nobody cared on the left about anything. Nays Garden, thank you. They only care, you know what they only care about? Nays Garden, thank you so very, very much. They only care about pushing fashionable, accepted ideas that make them feel hip and moral, but not you can't. You can say, on the left, you can say, the Russia thing was a complete joke. You cannot say Trump was set up. You can't say that. Can't say it. Because that would be too good. You'd be helping President Trump. So you'd be like, what? You're acting like a Trumper. You can say Bernie Sanders was cheated, but you better not say you're voting green. Because then you have too much privilege. All this stuff is these judgment, the judgment. You have to ask yourself who's judging you. You have a great many people who are perhaps in their 20s and 30s, making judgments of the world. And it's like, okay, who are you voting for? Democrats. Okay. Really? You're going to judge everyone and then vote Democrat. So why should I listen to you at all? Well, they're more moral. Really? Ask the people of Libya. Ask the people of Flint who drank Flint water during Then Biden's like, oh yeah, Rick Snyder. He was, what was it? Yeah, Rick Snyder, the Michigan governor who presided over the whole thing. Between the Lincoln Project and Rick Snyder, Biden has really wonderful people backing him. Oh my God. Nays Garden! I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you almost ever, brother, but sadly, I love your passion here. Nays Garden! Nays Garden, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate your support and the fact that you might not agree with everything I say, but you enjoy the enthusiasm. I have, ladies and gentlemen, the best job in the world speaking to you, Nays Garden, everybody here every evening at 9 p.m. Nays Garden, I finally found a time. Because I never had a specific time, and I'm like, wait a second, I probably should just tell people that I'll be there at 9 p.m. So be here at 9 p.m. Pacific every evening. But Nays Garden, please be here November 3rd. We're going to party. We're going to party hardy. It's going to be amazing. Nays Garden, thank you so very much for your support and your generosity. It's greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Luke St. Martin, as always, thank you. Nays Garden, thank you. You have Madam Secretary and Kamala Harris. Yes. Oh, and then you had Trump say that just today he said Clinton was a capable candidate. What did he say? I actually took a screenshot. Of it. Okay, so what? Okay, where was it? Oh, yeah. You type in Hillary Clinton news earlier today, you get Biden's soft Hispanic support. Axios. Then you get USA Today, Hillary Clinton doing first grassroots event with Kamala Harris on Monday. First of all, why on earth wouldn't Biden do a grassroots event with, you know what I mean? Like, did Kerry do grassroots events with Tim Kaine? No. Obviously, we're just ramping it up. I know it sounds like I'm like completely nuts, but it's happening. And then exclusive, Trump calls Clinton a much more capable candidate than Biden. So the other day he said that she was a better candidate. Today she said it's more capable. And then he said today he would prefer to run against Biden because Clinton was more tough. He's doing the opposite of what they want him to do. They want him to disparage Hillary. It ain't going to work because he's like, look, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Nays Garden! Oh my goodness. Thank you so very much. You are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Nays Garden. Oh my goodness. My Lord. My Lord. Nays Garden. Thank you so very, 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 very much. I don't know what to say. Other than thank you so very, very, very much. And all I can tell you is thank you. Thank you for your support. I think Nays Garden, you know that the one thing about this channel and the one thing about me is that my annoying and wonderful personality and whatever I truly feel, I always try to just convey, and I just want to thank you for your acknowledgement and your support. And my God, you're a tremendous generosity. Thank you very, very much, Nays Garden. My God, I don't even know what to say other than thank you. Everyone, give a lot of love to Nays Garden. Thank you so very, very, very much, Nays Garden. Thank you. People, Nays Garden, everybody here, November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are going to be, Nays Garden again, thank you, my God, thank you. November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are going to be the most, they're going to be the most important, the most important time period in the history of the internet. Because you think about the past 20 years of the internet, when people really started, from computers to cell phones to now it's like ubiquitous, and there are no boundaries really. You can, well, there are algorithms, I guess. Now those when there are no boundaries, and yet there are a great many boundaries. But can you think of an event? Can you think of an event that's going to be? And Nays Garden, thank you again, very, very, very much. Thank you. Can you think of an event like November 3rd, 2020, that will be as watched or focused upon or important to the internet? Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen, because you've had 4 years of media, apoplectic, seething, fuming media, devoted to one cause, taking down one man. And that ain't going to happen. And it's going to be Hillary Clinton versus President Trump. Oh, my God. Mr. Mandela, thank you. Biden, Hillary agenda, Kamala, Hillary agenda, you're still on the money, H.A. Thank you, Mr. Mandela, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Nays Garden, thank you so much, my God. I don't know what to say other than thank you. Email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. I told myself I'm not going to do any interviews until after the election, so I really haven't done any interviews at all. But email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. But I'm just getting started. Why don't you let me interview you in the garden? Nays Garden, thank you so very, very much. Just email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. But I do appreciate, my God, Nays Garden, thank you. I just appreciate, I don't know what else to say. I wish I could do, more on this show to justify the support, but I do really appreciate, I remember I believe I remember you've been watching for a long time, and I appreciate that very much. So Nays Garden, thank you very, 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 very much. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. I don't know what else to say, but just thank you. I could say I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding, but Nays Garden might get me there. I appreciate that, the support tremendously. Mr. Mandela, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thank you. But Nays Garden, everybody here. Hillary Clinton doing first grassroots event with Kamala Harris. It's happening, people. Hillary Clinton is doing a first grassroots event with Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris on Monday, as Democrats hope to be the first party to put a woman in the White House, even as number 2. So they're going to go with Madam Secretary and Kamala Harris. And the reason they're going to do that is because, aside from the fact that nice. Nays Garden! I have 21 YouTube channels. This is not my active. Ron Placone tomorrow. Well, Ron Placone is awesome. Tomorrow, noon p.m. Pacific time. Nays Garden, my God. Nays Garden, thank you. Trump turned me into a millionaire. I don't know. Nays Garden! Nays Garden! My goodness. Nays Garden, thank you very, very much. Mr. Mandela. Mr. Mandela, I don't have millions. Bring it, Nays Garden. Nays Garden, thank you. Mr. Mandela. Mr. Mandela, thank you. My God, Nays Garden, thank you so very, very much. I almost want to tell you that I'm not worth it, or I'm not worthy. But I just want well, tell everybody the channel that Ron Placone. Tell everyone. Can you give the link to your channel so everyone can be there? Now we have 425 people on it. My God, thank you so very, very, very much. I don't know what else to say other than thank you. I really not much more I can say in Nays Garden than I'm not worthy of all of this, and I just want to thank you very, very much. Mr. Mandela, I don't have millions. Bring it, Nays Garden. Yes, Mr. Mandela. Nays Garden, I'm live now too with you. Awesome. Well, Nays Garden, please go ahead and put the link below so people can obviously subscribe to your channel. First of all, thank you very much. But put the link below so people can subscribe to your channel. And my goodness. Thank you so very, 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 very much. You know what? I do remember. I'm looking at Nays Garden's channel. That's right. You did an awesome anger translator, and I remember. And that's that's right. I hope all is well. And thank you. That's okay. Yes. I do remember you had a different channel. The TAD, that one. Yeah, I remember that one. You had a great channel, awesome channel. I remember. You've been watching for, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is awesome. He's been watching, and he is an advocate for a really wonderful, wonderful advocate, and very intelligent, a passionate advocate for a pretty awesome cause. And so I do remember he's been watching for a long time, and it's very, 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 very thankful, Nays Garden. Very, 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 very thankful for your support and the fact that you've been watching for so long. First, last. I do remember he had an H.A. Goodman anger translator, but I forgot. Just in the comments section, you don't please. You've done more than possibly humanly. This is amazing. In the comments section, please remind me, because I remember you were like, you did an anger translator for me. You did an anger translator. What were the topics? Just in the comment, not a super chat. In the comment, what were the topics? I do remember really enjoying the anger translator. What were the topics that you were translating? I remember this, ladies and gentlemen, because I used to be on the left, and I remember, and this is towards the time also that I was transitioning to like leaving the left, kind of, and I do remember, refresh my memory again, what topics you were talking about, or what topics you were translating when I was, because I remember like you would look at different segments that I had, and then would do the anger translator, which is pretty awesome. Nate's Garden, I'm unable to super chat on any channel I broadcast to. Okay. Ashton Hanna. Ashton. I'm not a liberal, but spread the wealth, Nays G. Thank you. Ashton Hanna, thank you. I do remember that Nays Garden, first of all, thank you very much, and I'm glad, very glad, that you're obviously doing very, very well, and I'm very, very glad. I remember you had a very dynamic channel. I'm not just saying this because you've been so generous. Like if you weren't awesome, I would say, hey, listen, I gotta, like if it was like somebody I didn't, because that's the way I am, but you did do. That's right, H.A. Goodman's Anger Translator. That's right, I remember. You did do a really, really awesome. That's right. Hold on. That's that's right. Here it is. That's right. Oh my! Can I go ahead and can I give the link? Let me know if I can give the link to the video. I'll give the link to the video here. It's pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. I remember that. Yes. Then you had this is so old school. I had no hair and the paintings in the background. Oh my God. That's right. That's right. That's like a blast from the past, a real blast from the past. Partaking in the wonderful things that he's partaking in. Yeah, I mean, he's dead. So Nays Garden, as he was with the circles. Yes, I remember here. So here's the link. That's right. Wow, this was a good 4 years ago. This was the anger translate. That was July 14th, 2016. Wow. That's right. That was awesome. I'm going to watch the anger translator now, and I'm going to watch this segment. That was a great segment. Alex, thank you. That's right. And it's very interesting because Nays Garden is right. I'm not angry anymore. I was a lot angrier in terms of my style. My style, a lot angrier, because when you're on the left, you're always angry because you want to go ahead and try to tell people what morality is about. But I always did agree with the particular topic that Nays Garden is quite passionate about, and quite passionate about during the anger translator section, or the segment. That's right. Okay, trendies. That's right. Oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is awesome. Very, very, very generous. And he has great channels, but this was 4 years ago when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. And one of the great perks about being on YouTube is you have really wonderful people who find something they enjoy about, like I have I would say it could be annoying personality, could be funny personality, could be quirky personality, could be very rarely charming personality, but very often annoying, but also interesting somewhat because it's annoying but funny sometimes, and so maybe there are things about me here and there that resonate with people when they watch. And so, like, just for example, today I started off this live stream. There's a gentleman who was in his car saying that I've lost my mind. And I said it was a great segment because one of the fun things about the way I communicate, or how energetic or passionate or enthusiastic about different ideas, it resonates with people. So, and it resonates with good people, whether they agree or disagree. And so I remember this gentleman, Nays Garden, who is really amazing. Thank you very much. I remember that he did a great segment called the H.A. Goodman Anger Trans. Oh, wow. And I just remember really enjoying, and it even says here, H.A. Goodman brought me here. I remember this. People have said on that H.A. Goodman sent me 4 years. I remember looking at it and saying, this is awesome. I'm going to watch this again. I'm going to watch this with tears in my eyes. I'm going to start off with, you know what, after this, I won't say 20 million. I mean, I'm close to the 20 million now. Thank you. I appreciate everything my God. Oh my God. This is great. This is great. And that's, you know what? That is, that's awesome. It's also interesting, too, because this gentleman has seen me evolve, transition, the metamorphosis, the H.A. Badman metamorphosis. So he has seen me transition. Gosh, 4 years of politics. 4 years of navigating politics. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is thank you to everybody. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, Nays Garden. My goodness. Thank you. Please email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. I would love to see the Ron Placone interview. He's awesome. He doesn't like Trump at all, but he's awesome. Anyone associated with Jimmy Dore is awesome. I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Dore. I think he's great. So, yeah. So, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. If you want to be part of a newsletter, please go ahead and email me. Lollipop, let's go. And Nays Garden, all I can say is thank you. And very, very, very much. Thank you. So very kind of you. I'm very, very happy not just because of my own greed, but very happy that you're doing well. which you obviously are, and very happy that, you know, things are working out so well. I mean, you always, like I said, from like 4 years ago, it was a very interesting. That was actually. I'm looking at your anger translator. Even without the sound, it's awesome. So I'm gonna watch this right after this with tears rolling down my face. Thank you, Nays. Thank you so much, Nays Garden. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, Mr. Mandela. Thank you, everybody. Nays Garden. Thank you so much. Be here November 3rd, and please email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. And thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I'll be here 9 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you. Nays Garden, I don't know what to tell you other than thank you. There's nothing more I can say than I'm not worthy, but I just thank you for your support and generosity. That's the only thing I can say. And just thank you so very, very, very much. I don't think anyone has been as generous in 4 years as you have, and I just want to thank you for your support. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, two best moderators in all of YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. God bless. Thank you so much. Thank you.